What if you could bend the elements like Aang? Throw fire from your hands, ride waves with a flick of your wrist, levitate on currents of air, smash through walls with a stomp. Sounds like pure fantasy, right? But what if I told you that science is already getting us closer than you might think? In this video, we're exploring the real-world science behind the powers in Avatar, The Last Airbender. From firebending and waterbending to the mind-body connection of Chai, we're going to break down how each bending art could work with modern or emerging technology. And by the end, we'll ask a bold question. If we combined all of it, the tech, the physics, the biology, could someone actually become a real-life avatar? Let's dive in. What is bending? In the world of Avatar, bending is the ability to manipulate one of four classical elements: water, earth, fire, or air. It's not just about moving stuff. Bending is a martial art, a spiritual discipline, a cultural identity, and for the Avatar, a bridge between worlds. Each bending style is based on a real martial art. Waterbending takes inspiration from Tai Chi, earthbending from Hung Gar, firebending from northern Shaolin, and airbending from Bagua Zhang. Every movement is grounded in a physical philosophy. But behind the flow and flare, there's science waiting to be unpacked. Let's start with fire. In the show, firebenders generate and control fire from their own internal energy. Some even learn to bend lightning. It looks like magic, but in the real world, we already manipulate fire and electricity every day, with a little help from science. First, let's talk about plasma. Plasma is the fourth state of matter, after solid, liquid, and gas. It's what you get when you superheat a gas and strip its electrons, creating a soup of charged particles. Fire is a weak form of plasma. Lightning is a much stronger one. Scientists already use plasma torches to cut through steel. Plasma arcs are used in welding and even surgery. Tesla coils can produce bolts of electricity that look exactly like lightning bending. These tools require power sources and containment systems, but the principle is the same: controlling ionized energy. Now imagine shrinking that tech. Wearable plasma projectors already exist, like high-intensity plasma lighters. They're tiny, but they show that handheld fire control is possible. It's not coming from your body like in the show, but the effect is surprisingly close. Then there's combustion. We already use directed flame in propulsion systems, pyrotechnics, and flamethrowers. Military-grade flamethrowers can shoot fire several meters in a straight line. Not quite Zuko's fire punches, but pretty intimidating. And let's not forget lightning. We don't have humans casually tossing bolts around, but we can generate high-voltage arcs in controlled environments. It's dangerous and difficult, but it's real. With enough insulation, energy control, and tech, lightning bending might be possible, though definitely not safe for beginners. So, firebending is actually the most energy-driven of all the bending arts. It relies on heat, plasma, combustion, and electromagnetism. And while we can't do it barehanded like in the show, we're already building tools that mimic it with impressive accuracy. Next up, waterbending. This is one of the most versatile bending styles in Avatar. Waterbenders can control liquid water, turn it into ice, create fog, and even manipulate the water inside living things. So how does real-world science stack up? First, let's talk about fluid dynamics. Scientists have spent centuries studying how liquids move. With pumps, hydraulics, and pressure systems, we can already move water through tubes, jets, and even in mid-air through misting and vapor control. But here's where it gets wild. Researchers have developed acoustic levitation systems that use sound waves to move droplets of water without touching them. By creating high-frequency standing waves, they can suspend and move tiny amounts of liquid through the air. It's not combat-ready, but it's undeniably waterbendy. Then there's cryogenics. Freezing water instantly isn't just a Katara move, it's real science. Scientists can supercool water and trigger instant freezing with a small disturbance. High-pressure cryojets can also project frozen mist or ice in controlled bursts. In theory, these could be adapted into tools for directed ice control. Steam bending? We do that too. High-pressure steam is used in power plants, industrial cleaning, and even culinary tech. Steam jets can be shaped, redirected, and weaponized. Again, not something you'd use in hand-to-hand combat, but close in principle. And yes, blood bending. It's the darkest form of waterbending in the show, and it taps into the idea of controlling the water inside a living body. While real science can't do this with sound or hand gestures, researchers are developing microscopic robots, nanobots, that can navigate the bloodstream. With external magnetic fields or sound waves, they can potentially manipulate blood flow in the future. The ethics are questionable, but the science? Already underway. So while we can't shape a water whip or freeze a wave mid-air with a thought, the building blocks of waterbending, pressure, phase change, and fluid manipulation, are all very real. Now let's talk about earthbending. Arguably the most physically grounded of all the bending arts. It's about control, power, and raw strength. But it also has deep roots in vibration, resonance, and mineral manipulation. Real-world earthbending starts with geomechanics, the study of how soil, rocks, and minerals behave under pressure. Engineers already use machines that can drill, break, or move large amounts of earth. But what if we could do that with finesse? Enter electromagnetism. Industrial electromagnets can lift thousands of pounds of metal. Some advanced gloves now use magnetic fields to attract or repel small metallic objects. It's not true metal bending, but it's a start. Then there's seismic energy. In the real world, we can generate shock waves to simulate earthquakes or fracture rock. Controlled demolition experts use timed vibrations to break apart concrete. The idea of sending a pulse through the ground to knock over enemies? It's closer to reality than you'd expect. Let's not forget robotics. Powered exoskeletons are being developed for construction, military, and medical use. These suits enhance strength and allow humans to lift heavy loads, punch through walls, or move with precision. An earthbender with a powered suit? Terrifying. There's even experimental research into using sound to break apart rock, similar to how Toph sees with her feet. Geophones and sonar tech can detect movement underground, just like how earthbenders sense vibrations. So, while you won't be throwing boulders with your bare hands, the principles of earth manipulation, weight, momentum, resonance, magnetism, are very much part of modern engineering and science. Airbending might seem the most outlandish, controlling something as invisible and chaotic as wind. But if you look at modern propulsion systems, it actually makes a lot of sense. First, we already have devices that manipulate air in powerful ways. Air vortex cannons can shoot rings of pressurized air that are strong enough to knock over lightweight objects. They're toys now, but the concept scales up fast. Then there's aerodynamics. Planes, drones, and wind tunnels all manipulate airflow for movement. Gliders, like the one Aang uses, are based on real physics, lift, drag, and glide ratio. And modern wingsuits let people literally surf the sky. Jetpacks take this even further. Some use compressed gas. Others use miniature turbines. They allow for limited flight, directional control, and bursts of speed. Pair that with body stabilization systems, and you've got something that looks suspiciously like airbending in action. Also, air pressure manipulation is already used in tools like air knives, pneumatic systems, and even vacuum lifters. It's not as fluid as Aang's moves, but it shows we can use air for force and motion. And when it comes to sensing air movement, modern sensors can detect micro-changes in airflow and temperature, similar to how airbenders are hyper-aware of their environment. So while we're not doing spin kicks that shoot out tornadoes, we are learning to ride the wind with machines, physics, and some very clever engineering. In the Avatar universe, bending isn't just physical, it's spiritual. It's tied to chi, a life energy that flows through the body. It's what allows benders to direct power with precision and intention. Science can't measure chi in the traditional sense, but it can study energy in the body. We're talking about bioelectricity, neural signals, muscle control, and brainwave activity. Enter brain-computer interfaces, or BCIs. These are devices that let people control machines using their thoughts. You think. The machine responds. It's already being used to help people move robotic limbs or control cursors on a screen. Now, imagine pairing that tech with advanced wearables, gloves that manipulate magnets, suits that launch compressed air, helmets that direct plasma arcs. Suddenly, you're not just pressing buttons, you're bending. Even muscle sensors, electromyography, can detect small movements or tension in your arms and hands. That data can be used to trigger actions in robotic systems, creating the illusion of power flowing through your limbs. In this way, the concept of qi, internal energy guided by focus, finds a surprising parallel in neuroscience and biofeedback. The mind and body are working together, just like in bending. So, could we actually bend? Let's be honest, no one's going to be throwing fireballs or lifting oceans with their mind tomorrow. The laws of physics still matter. The human body has limits. But when you look at the science, and especially when you combine it, bending starts to look a lot less like fantasy. Firebending is plasma physics, waterbending is fluid dynamics, earthbending is vibration and magnetism, airbending is propulsion and pressure control. Qi is the interface between mind and machine. Piece by piece, we're already building the tools. And when those tools get smaller, smarter, and more integrated, it's not hard to imagine someone combining them into a single system. A powered suit, a neural link, a multi-element toolkit that reacts to your intent. In other words, a real-life avatar. We might not be born with bending abilities, but we're building them. And that's the real power of science. It takes what was once only possible in stories and makes it real. If this blew your mind, there's a whole world of science meets fantasy to explore, from neural implants to sonic weapons to real-life invisibility cloaks. We cover it all right here on AI Talks. So if you want more deep dives into the science behind your favorite fiction, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and let us know what you want us to explore next. Because the future? It's bending in our direction.